Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amilil. I'm from Politeknik Negeri Malang at the Prodi Business Information System. And today I would like to present my research. There is analysis of Indonesian public sentiment towards new social media platforms, which is Threads and X, or the X is as known as Twitter, and its implication for digital brand trust. This research focuses on how public sentiment in Indonesia differs between Threads and X, and how this sentiment relates to digital brand trust. Next slide, we have background. At this background, the point is social media platforms play a crucial role in shaping public opinion in Indonesia. Recently, Threads emerged as a new platform competing with X, formerly known as Twitter. As I said before, this shift has created new patterns of public sentiment which can influence how users perceive platforms and how brands build trust digitally. In the next slide, we have research problem. There is public sentiment towards Threads and X, so diverse patterns. The second one is most opinions remain subjective and unstructured. And the third one is digital brand face uncertainty in choosing the right platform. And the last one is limited data driven comparative sentiment analysis exists. And for the point is of the research problem that I got is the main problem addressed in this research is the lack of structured data driven analysis comparing public sentiment between Threads and X. Additionally, digital brand face uncertainty in determining which platform better support trust and positive engagement. Therefore, understanding sentiment patterns and their implication becomes increasingly important. And the next slide, we have research objective. And okay, I'm about to say only the point about this slide. The point of research objective is this research aims to analyze public sentiment toward Threads and X, compare sentiment patterns across platforms, and examine the relationship between sentiment and digital brand trust. Furthermore, the study seeks to provide strategic insight for digital brand operating in Indonesia. And the next one is research question. The study is guided by four research questions. The first one, what are the sentiment patterns of Indonesian users toward Threads and X? And the second one is what factors influence positive and negative sentiment of each platform? And the third one is how does public sentiment affect digital brand trust? And finally, what strategic implication and can digital brand derive from this analysis? And then in the slide 6 we have variables, two different variables. There is variables X and Y. The independent variable X is like public sentiment, public sentiment that we can classify them to positive and negative sentiment, also the natural sentiment, natural opinion. And the second one is the variable Y as a digital brand trust, and it's contain like credibility, reliability, user confidence. So this research use two different of variable. And then in the next slide there is research methodology. The study applies a quantitative research approach using secondary data. So my research is not using a primary data, but using a secondary data. And sentiment analysis is conducted using natural language processing techniques, which is apart from artificial intelligence or AI. And a comparative analysis is used to identify difference between threats and acts, while correlations analysis examines the relationship between public sentiment and digital brand trust. And the next slide, we have data source. There is the data consists of public posts and comments from threads and acts, focusing on Indonesian language text. That is the limitation of my research. I can only focusing on Indonesian language opinion in Indonesian language, and if there is English or the other language, there's the limitation that I use. And then brand trust indicators are derived from relevant academic journal, ensuring that the analysis remains theoretically grounded and methodologically valid. Next slide, we have expected contributions. So academically, this research contributes to sentiment analysis literature related to new social media platforms, and practically it provides insights for digital brand to determine suitable platforms for communication and trust building strategies. So that is the expected contributions from my research. And then we at the last slide, there is conclusion of my research topic. In conclusion, public sentiment toward threats and acts differs significantly and has implication for digital brand trust. Understanding the patterns helps brand adapt their strategies to the evolving digital landscape. I think that's all that I can say, that I can present about my research. And thank you for your attention. If there is any question, you can type it. Okay, thank you. My name is Amilil. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.